Hey, Katie O'Keefe here, known more as Kat here at Cornell Cooperative Extension. I'm back for another episode of Preservation Pantry here in the Cornell Cooperative Extension Commercial Kitchen. And today we are talking about one of my favorite things, sourdough bread and starters and how to keep that thing alive because I haven't been very successful. So I brought in help. Colleen Jackson from my Master of Food Preservation class, and she also works here at Cornell. She has made herself the sourdough queen. I'm going to give her the crown for this one because she's just unbelievable. And I'm so excited to introduce you to some new things to maybe make your sourdough bread proof a little bit easier, right, Colleen? I would say. Yeah, sourdough is the magic of combining flour, water, and creating bacteria. So what's happening in the process is your flour and your water make a wild yeast. That creates a bacteria, and that creates natural levity, if you're lucky. Not so much with me when I do sourdough, but that's why Colleen's here. What I found with my stomach issues that sourdough bread was really the only bread that I could have. Why? Because it has those natural bacteria, those probiotic entities that I needed in my gut. And so when I took my Master of Food Preservation class and I met Colleen, I was like, I'm going to really learn about this. So I'm excited to have her here today. Colleen, how long have you been in the sourdough?
About a year.
About a year.
Yep.
Look at that. And she's queen already. I had to do 20 years before I became queen of the fairy realm for the Celtic festival. But Colleen gets it in a year. That's the thing. So we're going to talk about a lot of different ways of creating an environment that is good for your sourdough, for it to rise, and then we're going to cook some and we're going to eat some. So Colleen, do you want to get started here? We can get we have a nice shot of what she has all set up over there. We're going to get that all over here so you can see it really well. And we're going to start putting that dough together. The
whole wheat and the rye tend to work better. Mm-hmm. That and some water. And then every day you discard half and you add more flour and water to it. Discard half and add more flour and water to it until it starts getting nice and bubbly like this.
Okay, so when you say discard, that means we're taking about how much out?
About half of it.
About half of it out. And then you're going to reseed it, and then what happens?
From there, it just starts bubbling. So every day, it doesn't, for the first week or so, it may not look like it's doing anything. It just requires patience and just letting it go. So I just always add stuff to it, get to a point where you're feeding it twice a day. So you feed it in the morning, feed it at night, and you still discard some. This I don't discard because I just keep on adding to it.
Okay. It feels nice and warm. What is the temperature you like it at?
I think it's usually about 70. I'm trying to remember.
About 70?
Yeah.
I think that may have been my problem with mine too. It's it was just only about 65 where I was keeping it. And it was next to the outside wall of the kitchen. And at night, I think it was dropping down and it would just go dormant and it would get this liquid on the top, which is called hooch.
Yep. That's very important.
And I thought it was bad.
Nope.
So I threw it out. Yeah.
So
not very successful.
As long as that hooch isn't moldy and doesn't have black chunks in it and stuff, it's still good. Just stir it right in. If there's a lot of hooch, I do pour some of it out.
Because it is kind of an alcohol.
It is.
Because what it's doing is fermenting.
Yep.
So you get this layer on there. What are some signs that people could watch for with their starter if they are negligent? No
bubbles. As you can see in mine, there's a lot of bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
So like I fed this morning when I got here, and where the rubber band is, that's where it was.
Wow.
And now you have the bubbles. It has a really nice pungent smell to it.
Wow. It does have a really nice aroma.
Yep. And if it's just not going anywhere,
Look at how much it's increased already. So the rubber band is where it was this morning. You fed it, and it's almost doubled in size already.
Yep.
So,
but that's a lot of times why you discard half of it, because otherwise you just have a big vat of starter.
which in my case might be a good thing. One thing that they can do with some of their discard, you suggested freezing.
Yes.
And that was the first time I ever heard of that. So that was really cool.
You can freeze it. You can spread it across like parchment paper and shut off your ovens, put it in your ovens and let it dry. And then you can crumble it up, and then you have dried starter. Which you guess I've never tried it. That's something I'm going to experiment with, because I have a lot of starter to play with.
Yeah.
But you just add water to it. You have to find the ratios,
Mm-hmm.
and you can add water to it, and then you have your starter that's shelf stable.
And some people, it amazes me, like you see some sourdough, they're all in on sourdough. Their sourdough starter is like generations old.
Yeah, no, not mine.
It's like passed down, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yep.
You can even, this is how crazy it is. You could actually get starter from over in Europe, in different locations of Europe, and you will have a different type of a yeast.
Yep.
So people will get it for specific breads over here.
Yep. It's like, I think I saw one this morning that was 900 years old. I'm like, no.
I can't keep it alive for a week. Like, what?
I put this in the refrigerator. If I know I'm not going to do anything with it, I'll put it in the refrigerator. And that's a lot of times where that hooch starts developing. So I'll let it sit in the refrigerator for 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I won't feed it.
Yeah.
And then I pull it out. I'll let it come to room temperature. I'll feed it. And
So it's important to bring it, when you bring it out of the fridge, because you're not feeding it in there, to let it warm up again before you feed it as well. I think I may have made that mistake too.
At least that's what I found has worked well for me.
Yeah.
So
and it is kind of a nice thing if you do have to take a break. Don't feel like, because when I first started doing it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go do this for, a couple days. I'm not going to get back there. And then I found out that I could have put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
That's
put it in the fridge to freeze it. Mm-hmm. I have little butter molds. That's what I had, is a tray of butter molds. Mm-hmm. And I just fill them up, put them in the freezer. They're usually frozen with a few hours.
Yeah. I mean, right after class, I went and got butter mold. But I did. I did. How do we want to get started here?
So to get started, you're going to start off with putting your starter in. I'm going to add some water. I add my salt and my oil, and then I start stirring in the flour. So the starter, give me 1 second, it's 500 grams. So I'm going to set this right up on here because I can kind of see this. Nah. Sorry.
Move these over here so you can see a little bit better. There we go. And you got to take away the weight of your container or whatever you're using.
So this is zeroed out now. So I just have a big scoop. Scoop it all out, because I already fed this morning, so this is pretty much ready to go, nice and bubbly.
It is. It's really.
When your kitchen smells like sourdough, you know you do it too much.
They could smell it down the hall. Oh, Colleen's here. So there's like 1.5 of that, or you're just measuring?
I'm going by the weight.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be exact science.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Fell off. That's about 500. Because if it's too watery, you add some more flour. If it's too dry, you add a little bit of water.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to mess this up.
Okay.
I added too much salt one time and decided I needed to make it into a very, very sweet. Everything else needed to sweeten it up, so I made it into piccata one day. So the water's already measured out, and that's 1,000, because I've doubled the recipe that I use. I've quadrupled the recipe that I used. Stir it around.
We had that stirrer on the show people were. So
I love it.
everyone loves that one.
I think I find I like this better than regular whisks. I've had the wires on a regular whisk break on me and end up in whatever I decided it broke. I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Now that's Himalayan salt.
That's Himalayan salt. I like Himalayan salt. It has a nice flavor to it. Allows the bread to brown nicely. Because if you don't add enough salt, it won't brown. If you add too much salt, it'll brown too much. And then olive oil.
And it's extra virgin?
Yep.
Okay.
And again, it doesn't.
And we will be posting the recipes on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. You can find us on YouTube at Preservation Pantry CCE for Cornell Cooperative Extension.
And then the flour. And that's 2,000 grams of it.
You can also find the show now on LCTV in Lockport if you're close by.
Just start really good.
Kind of on call here at CCE. She's like the master of all things that get done here. It's behind the scenes. She's just
in the buildings.
Yeah.
The buildings and the grounds.
But I pulled her away today.
It's my vacation.
We tried a couple weeks ago and that did not work. Now we just that's it. She's coming in. We're stealing her. She's ours. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my goodness. If you guys could smell it. It's so sweet smelling. Sweet and yummy.
A lot of people like the King Arthur flour. I have gone King Arthur. I do Pillsbury. I think this is a mix of both.
Okay.
Just happened to be what was in my containers. Or whatever the stores have.
And how much flour was that?
It was 2,000 grams.
Okay.
Like I said, I quadrupled the recipe.
Uh-huh.
I find doing one one loaf at a time, it's hard for me to work with. I do better with the bigger loaf.
And how many loaves would you get out of?
It depends on how I want to do it. If I split it out to make add-ins or anything else like that, it can be anywhere between 4 and 6 loaves.
Oh, nice.
So,
and do you freeze any of your loaves? Or
I do.
okay. So you freeze them? Do you slice them or freeze them whole?
I freeze them whole.
Okay.
So when you freeze them whole, you can take them out of the freezer, run them under water, and then you throw them in the oven and rebake them. And it comes out, I actually think it's better.
Well, I feel like a lot of baked goods, when you freeze them, when you pull them out, they actually taste even better.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's all in our heads, but even brownies, cookies,
Yep.
they're nice to sack at.
But and you just, after the whisk doesn't work so well, you just get in there with your hands.
Now, is there any point where you've done too much with the dough? Because some doughs, like pastry doughs, you have to be very careful with.
A lot of times this is recoverable if you do too much right away. So with this, after I let this for the rest of the day, I'll do stretch and folds all day long. And then I'll let it bulk rise. And during the stretch and folds, you'll start to see any lumps, bumps will kind of even out. It kills any imperfections. But and it'll also clean up anything you have in the corners and everything like that.
You can kind of see, like, even right now, it's starting to come together. And I guess it kind of looks like, I don't know what you would call it. Like, it's just kind of connecting, and you can see it, but it's still very web-like.
And it's
So now with the stretch and folds, how much do you stretch it out before you fold it to like a 1/2 inch?
well,
To give them some kind of an idea.
I use this pan because it's the easiest one for me to do the stretch and fold.
Oh, okay.
So when I get it to a nice, so after I get this all mixed, I'll let it set for another hour or so, and then I'll start doing my stretch and folds.
Okay.
And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll grab it from the middle, and I'll stretch it up until it all releases, and then I kind of flip it over, and then I let it sit. I'll do a stretch and fold on the dough that I have, and you can kind of see it.
We'll be able to see it. And she got these handy dandy tubs from the restaurants, right?
No, actually, my boyfriend's mother had them in her attic.
Oh,
I was like, perfect.
they look like the ones that you get at the restaurant.
You can use like any of the lugs that you can get for like meat processing and stuff like that. I was originally looking for those, and I happened to go up in her attic, and she had these. I'm like, oh,
Those are nice.
always check the attic. You never know what you find in an attic.
You never know.
So she apparently used to work for a bakery.
You must have a clean attic.
I cleaned these pretty good. Some of them didn't survive the attic very well. She had a lot of them.
But I have some friends of mine that own restaurants, so I will confiscate buckets sometimes and these plastic containers. But I just kind of say, hey, when you get one of those in, can you call me and let me know?
You can get your hands on more of these. I'll go for them.
Okay. I will work at it. How many you want?
Oh, don't tempt me. I'll give more.
My restaurant owner friends are saying, oh no, here she comes again. He's just standing nagging me.
Hide all the lugs.
Yeah. And the bucket. I like the buckets too.
The buckets are...
Olive buckets.
Yep.
Pickle buckets are really nice.
So that's the bottom. It looks a little dry, so you can add a little bit of water to it. Not much. I like the filtered water just because it does tend to seem to give you a little bit more of a purified water.
When you start your starter, you use filtered water too.
They recommend it.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, you don't have it. It's not the end of the world.
Now, what are some other things that people could add to their dough while they're making their loaves? Like, what are some of your favorite additives?
So I've had people add chocolate bits. You can add like chips of cinnamon, but I don't recommend doing anything like that until after your bulk rise. For like cinnamon, honey. There's a couple others that will actually fight the bacteria that will not allow it to rise. It'll retard the rising. So you have to think about what you're putting in there. I saw one for rosemary and I think Asiago cheese. I was like, oh, that looks good.
I watched the recipes. I try to post them to y'all when I see something that looks so good. I try to post them and share them to you because there's some great recipes.
Oh yeah. So this right here, I'd let it sit right now. It's not hard. Still a little bit of drying in a couple of spots, but as I do the stretch and folds, it'll smooth out really nicely. So you just cover this up, you let it sit, you can put it on a pad like that.
Oh, we want to talk about the pad. Oh, Colleen came in here today with a new toy. It's a warming tray, I guess you would call it, a warming tray. And it literally rolls up in stores in this size box. But I would say it's about 2.5 feet, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. And her Sarah was on that. Her bread dough she has cruising right now is on that. So that might help you too, because it does get cooler in the Western New York region. So it is hard to find those spots in your kitchen where you can maintain an equal temperature to give it the optimal opportunity to grow and breed and become light and fluffy.
When it's not for your sourdough, it's for your starting your seeds.
Really?
That's what we're going to use it for.
That's cool.
Start our seeds on it.
She also warmed food on it. She had pulled pork on it.
I did.
Okay.
It was good.
Believe you. We are definitely doing that barbecue smoking thing. Folks, we are going to get all the smokers of Western New York here, and we're going to do something really fun. All right, we're going to go over and get our next tub on sourdough. We'll be right back.
You have to remember this is a stretch and fold, not a knead.
where some people try to knead it like a biscuit,
Right.
and it's too much for it. Should have wet my hands again.
So a little less handling when you
Yep.
just do the stretch and
Yep.
fold. It kind of.
So then I'm just gonna put some. Can you grab that cap off? Didn't plan that out.
This is cool. Look at that measuring cup.
So I just put some on the counter, just so that doesn't stick to the counter. And we'll let it come right out of the basket. Apparently it started baking. Yeah.
Got it.
And see the bench
Look
knife.
at that baby.
So you can pull it up by there.
That looks so nice. So is there a certain consistency that you kind of feel for after doing it for so long? Do you have kind of a...
You just want it to be workable. It depends. Some people like a really, what they call a high hydration loaf. Some people like a very dry loaf. Sourdough really does like the hydration part. So you try to make it so it's workable. Like this is actually it's a little wetter than what I usually deal with. But spread it out. And then you start your folding process. Oops.
So you fold it back in on itself.
Yep. And then roll it up. Like I said, this is,
It needs more flour.
yep, more flour today. And really, you can do this a couple times before it becomes too stiff. That's where the bench knife is really handy. So, just because this is a little wetter than what I want to deal with, we're going to scrape it back up, put it right into the flour here. You can scrape it right off your hands that way too.
Oh, that is nice. Glad I got that one.
It is nice. So now you can see it's a little bit more workable here. So spread it out. You don't need a rolling pin or anything like that.
And about how many times do you fold it in on itself?
So it's almost like you're going to kind of tuck it in here.
Okay.
So just kind of fold it so it's closed.
To me, it looks like wrapping a baby.
Yep.
Wrapping
So
the
you're going
baby.
to swaddle it.
Yeah.
Yep. Fold it up nice and tight like this. And then you spin it and kind of tuck your hand under it. And that makes it a nice tight loaf.
That is really looking nice.
So then you can take this, and this is a fairly big one. These little bantons. You can use them, you don't use them. It just gives me a spot to rise things in and put it upside down there. So in the banton I have rice flour.
Okay.
Rice flour doesn't burn like regular flour will in an oven.
Okay.
So
More flour. So coated with rice flour. And then you put it in there just to let it rise.
that's
Yep.
good. So
And where can they find these back?
you can find them on Amazon. Any baking place will have them. King Arthur has them. They're specifically for sourdough.
Okay.
So any place that does sourdough, you can get like a starter kit on Amazon or a lot of the online places.
Now, during class, we actually use different types of pans.
Yep.
So we did clay.
Yep.
We did a regular Dutch oven, and then you made a Dutch oven.
Yep. So you put your dough in here, close it up like that, and your beginning part of your baking process, you can bake it like that. And then the last 15 minutes or so, you take it off so it browns up nicely.
Now, what is the advantage of doing it that way as opposed to regular bread where you just throw it in the loaf pan right in the...
It makes like almost like an oven inside an oven.
Okay.
So you're keeping that heat there.
One of the other things that you do is you put ice in
Yep.
underneath your
To steam it.
pan. And
So
tell us a little bit more about that.
So sourdough really likes the hydration. They like the moisture. So a lot of times I'll spray my dough before it goes in and while it's in, just to kind of get it keep that moisture going. I can make a cinnamon bread if you want.
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
Always.
Grab my cinnamon.
Okay.
So just a cinnamon sugar mixture. We put it in here. Break up the clumps because sugar's always clumpy.
Cinnamon sugar was always that thing when I wasn't feeling good that my mom would make me toast with cinnamon sugar on it. I love it. Especially with lots of butter.
Yep. So I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to fold it into itself here.
Mm-hmm. Swaddling the baby.
Yep. Oop. If I'm going to throw some sugar on the floor. What's a kitchen without sugar on the floor?
Sugar or flour.
Yep. So what I found has worked the best for me. Oop. Some more flour here.
Some more flour.
Just in this right here.
Okay.
That's good. I did one. So this is almost adding in kind of those add-ins that people like.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I do it in 2 different spots.
So you're first fold in, and now you're going to
Yep.
do the roll with
then-
one
yep.
as well.
Oh gosh, it really wants to stick today. There's really no way to mess this up. There are ways, but
Have you used the silicone pads underneath these when you're using it, or no?
sometimes I do have silicone pads. I do have them with me. So,
Because I've gotten used to using those with my pastry
yep.
dough.
I like using this countertop, this metal one, when I'm doing this because it's easier to scrape up. Loaf is going to go right into one of these pans. But you definitely want to spray it first. Spray it, grease it however you want.
Now, when you spray it or grease it, do you then have to go back in with flour again? Because I know that's a common practice with a lot
Yeah,
of people.
not with this I don't have to
No?
worry
You're
about.
all good.
Yep. And then you just kind of set this one in. You just have to be careful because it's got sugar in it, and we cook this at a very high temperature, so you want to make sure it doesn't burn. That's why I like putting it in a glass pan so I can kind of see what it's doing.
Okay.
So, then we'll.
So your family goes through about how many loaves a week?
Depends on if my kids come over. If my kids come over, they clean me out pretty quickly. My son, it's nothing for him to grab a loaf that I've gotten done. He just walks away eating it. I'm like, that just came out of the oven. He goes, it's good.
Perfect. I timed that well.
He's like, that was my
He has
plan.
radar. Oh, I smell sourdough.
'Cause he's coming home from Georgia in a couple weeks, and he's like,
Aw.
you're going to have some ready? I'm like, yeah, I'll have some ready for you. Except I don't think you can take it on the plane.
Is it possible with the sourdough to make like almost like pretzel sticks with them?
Yes.
Or garlic bread sticks or something like
Yep,
that?
there are some really good recipes out there for those.
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately don't have a whole lot of time to play with those. But it does. People make sourdough pretzels all the time. Pretzel bites. One lady I just read, she really nice. She did that with some beer batter, some beer.
Oh, the beer
cheese.
cheese?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, those look delicious.
For me, the more things I can make with a sourdough, the better for my gut.
Yep, absolutely.
So I try to stay that way. Wayne who's going to be next up in our next segment of this episode. He is the king of discard. We got the queen starter and the king of discard. He just made me a rye bread sourdough.
Okay.
Which is rye bread is my favorite because it goes well with corned beef.
Yep.
And sauerkraut. And so I'm excited to try and find that rye flour because I haven't found that locally here.
I might have the King Arthur. They're not locally, but I'm pretty sure they have a rye flour.
Yeah. I think that's what Wayne uses is King Arthur's. So I'll have to check that. But I haven't been able to find it in any of the stores here locally. So it might be something you have to look for online.
I was spoiled. I lived by King Arthur at one point.
What? No wonder.
I loved it.
I don't know if I could handle smelling that all day. You know, it's kind of like Niagara Falls used to smell like, what was it, shredded wheat or something like that. And, you know, the whole city, I would go to work in the morning up there and the whole city would smell like shredded wheat. And it was so yummy. I don't think I could handle it by the flour place.
I'm just going to do another long loaf. Just for that.
Now, what temperature is nice for these? Because I know it's harder in the winter in Western New York. Like how much will it take for these to? You want them to double in size or what?
So you want them to you want them. I don't let them double completely because once they go in the oven, they really can blow up pretty quickly in the oven. I usually like to see them to get to the top of the pans.
Okay.
As for the temperature, you want them a little bit warmer, probably. If you keep the house at 60 to 70, it won't rise anything lower than that if it's too cold.
Yeah.
So like the wintertime is perfect for me because we have wood heat. So I'll get the house warm and then I'll warm everything. I'll bring everything down by the wood fire and let it rise down there.
Fire. I want a wood stove. That's what I want.
But yeah, that's a lot of it is just watching it double. If it's too cold, if you need to put on a sweater, then you need to give your sourdough a sweater to warm up.
Okay. So, have you ever baked this on a
wood stove? No, mine doesn't allow me to do that yet.
Put on a wood fire.
I would love to.
I think we're onto something.
Yep.
I'm the queen of smoked everything, so I think we have to do a.
You should be able to put it in a Dutch oven.
Fire.
You should be able to put it in a Dutch oven and put it on a fire. Yep.
We're gonna do it on a Saturday. I'm gonna make everyone come in on Saturday so we can just sit around the pits. It's gonna be a pit powwow.
I think that'd be a good day.
Yeah, that'll be a great day.
So,
okay, what do we got next?
So you're gonna let these rise, and so here we have a nice handy dandy proofer, which has moisture to it and heat, not enough to cook it.
Now, what temperature is the proofer at?
The proofer is set at, that's the humidity down there. It really doesn't tell me what the temperature is.
So it's more, when you put it in the proofer, it's more about the humidity.
The humidity and the warmth.
Okay. So and that will make it rise quicker.
Yep, that'll make it rise a little quicker.
Okay.
And then we'll put them in the oven and...
Super. I can't wait. Oh, I brought local jam too. And it's from Winslow's Choice, and we're going to be having them come on to our next episode. So stay tuned for that. We're going to put this on some of that sourdough. We'll be right back. So it's out of the proofer. So what do we got here, Colleen?
All right, so we have our cinnamon bread. You have a regular sandwich bread type thing, and then 2 round loaves. So we can start with taking the 2 round loaves, and we can put them on that pan.
Okay.
So we'll put them right here. It's easier to bring them over.
I get this out of your way.
And just flip it over.
So nice. See how nicely that comes out of there? That's because of this rice flour that she used to line inside. So it doesn't stick to the flour because there's no gluten in it. So it just kind of, the dough can just sit on top of the rice flour. So this is what you're looking for.
So people draw nice little designs. I do basic design. The biggest thing that you have to make sure you do your expansion cut. Now your expansion cut, I always get nervous about because you're going to cut into it way deeper than you think you need to. So that allows the bread to expand out. So then what I do is one right in the center, and then I do
little wheat.
And then I do the same thing with the next one.
Now, if you didn't do that, what would happen, Colleen?
The bread it'll split in places you may not want it to split.
Okay.
It'll still split in certain places, but it also allows like the moisture to get into it while you're cooking it. So a lot of times, some people will take some of the rice flour and they'll sprinkle a little bit on the top, usually before you cut it, because it just shows the design better. And then what I do before I put it in the oven, I spray it down.
Just water,
Regular water. Some people will do really cool things, like Christmas trees.
Oh, I know. I've seen some.
I'm like, it's amazing. I'm not that good.
It's artwork. Some of them do them in different color as well.
Yep, they use food coloring to paint them.
Oh my goodness.
So the same thing with these. You want a nice, good, deep cut. Some people will put them in the oven for a little bit and then cut the expansion in. I haven't quite tried that yet.
Now that's the cinnamon bread.
This is the cinnamon bread. And even in the proofer, it gives it a little bit of a crust.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just regular bread.
Now what do you use to slice yours?
I've used just regular razor blades. This is a razor blade on a knife. I don't remember what they call them, but you can get them from
cool,
yeah, you can get them from Amazon. They have little smaller ones. I find this is easier for me to handle. And it comes with a little sheet so I don't cut myself. And then you just spray this one again. And then we can pop them in the oven.
Yay!
You got it?
Yeah, I got this one. If you want to get the doors.
Yep.
There we go. In they go. Top one.
Yeah, bottom one. Or second one. Yep. Sorry.
There we go.
And then we'll put these on the top. And is my other glass can over there? Oh, right over there. We'll pop that on top so you can see the Dutch oven effect.
There we go. And then you bake it for, I like to keep an eye on it, because otherwise I forget. I think I demonstrated that in a class that I burnt some, made them into croutons. They were great croutons.
They were very good croutons. But your biggest thing is not to forget that they're in there. So I just keep an eye on them. They'll turn sourdough is a darker bread, almost a burnt ton. So burnt is not horrible. It's hard to mess it up really, other than forget about it and leave it in there for hours.
So how long does it stay in again?
You leave it in there for about, so we made one into a Dutch oven.
Right.
So that one you leave in there for about 20 minutes and then I'll take the top off and let it cook. The other ones you want to leave in there for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
And throughout those 40 minutes, I'll spray it down.
Okay.
So I'll open it up, spray them down, and call them good.
because these are commercial ovens, you want to add like ice?
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pan. We're going to add some ice and water to it. I'm going to put it right in the bottom, and that'll actually turns it in almost into a very hot sauna.
Ooh.
So I'm going to go grab that.
All right. We'll be right back with more bread details. And here they are. Oh, they're nice and warm, and they smell so good. And it was really funny. We were just talking about it. Colleen said, see, you don't have to worry that you're cutting them too deep.
I needed to go a little bit deeper with those. So, and that's a lot of times where I think
it really did look like you were going deep.
is a lot of people will they'll bake it for like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. They'll pull them back out and make their cuts deeper.
Okay, that's a good suggestion.
And that's something. It's one of those things that I'm still learning to do it. Like I said, I've only been doing it for a year. Mm-hmm. I'm always looking for suggestions on how to make this better or do better. It's like, oh yeah, that didn't work. We'll try this one next time.
Well, I think that's a great premise for everybody that's kind of into food preservation. Everybody wants to share and get tips. Yep. And I think that was kind of the idea behind the show. We set forward with doing it was this is a great way to be able to get people to give feedback on their channel and everything, so we can get more ideas. And some people pass something down that's really cool from their great 9,000-year-old starter. So for us, they have new starter or kind of new starter. It's great to have those shared recipes, shared input. So we gotta cut these.
Sure, let me pull these off and put them on a have a cooling rack, but we're using an oven rack today.
How long do you let them cool for, basically?
Until I can't decide I want to eat it.
Or should I ask, how long does your son let them cool for?
He'd be eating those all right. He doesn't care if he has any taste buds left. They burn, he's all good.
Now, one of those, remember, it was the cinnamon sugar.
This is a cinnamon one. Mm-hmm. And then that's just a regular, it's good for sandwich, toast, whatever. Okay. And then we have these ones here. According to my boyfriend, they're good for midnight snacks.
Nice.
So we'll try to give it a cut. So apparently there's a proper way of cutting bread. Yes. Number one, you have to use a Bill's knife.
Yes. In Western New York, you must have the Bill's knife.
Absolutely. So somebody told me you always cut it from the middle and then you make your way down. So the middle's kind of fun because you kind of can see the crust to it. And then you can see all of the bubbles.
I love that.
Yep. And
sometimes they come out and it's like too big a hole.
Yep. And I think they consider that overproofed. Like if I bring this to a professional sourdough baker, he could be like, you overproof this or you underproof this. To me, it looks like it's edible.
Yeah. I like it with less holes because it holds the jam.
Yep.
Just saying. It's just my thoughts. You're just going to continue on
down.
Yep,
just cut on right down like this. And we were just told that the bread knife is, the sourdough knife works a little bit better than a regular knife, which I can probably see now as you're cutting through the crust. So that might be my next investment. Maybe they make it in bills.
At a time.
Yes. So I don't know if they make them in bills though.
I don't know. I don't know if do they make those in bills?
We could find somebody.
We'll have to, I think, because every time I get a chance, I bring one of the Bill's knives in for the show. Not that we're partial or anything in Western New York for the Bills. Nah. All right. Well, these need jam.
Yep, they do.
I'm just saying. So, and I just happened to think ahead, and I brought some Winslow's Choice blueberry jam. And I remembered a spoon.
There you go.
So it's like, ooh, look at that.
Oh, that looks delicious.
That does look really yummy. Okay, what piece are we going to put it on?
Let's go for one of those.
Start with this one. Oh, you guys, I wish you were here for this. nothing like warm bread right out of the oven with some fresh jam.
Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, cilantro. I'm
Cilantro,
Irish.
yes.
Mm.
That's good.
Mm. That is so good. Jen Reagan's going to be sorry she wasn't here.
Yep. I'll probably have to deliver some.
Yeah, I think so. I think we really should. I think one thing that I do want to run down is there were many organizations that worked to bring this commercial kitchen together. And just a few of them was the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Greg Lewis Foundation, the East Hill Foundation, and the Western New York Foundation. So it took a lot of hands to make this possible.
Yes.
And really worth it, especially if we get to eat the bread. I don't know. It's hard to talk. But one of the other things I want to make sure that I point out to you is check the Cornell Cooperative Extension website for upcoming classes in your area. It's not just Niagara County. There are classes all across the state. So check their website and
Classes for kids that are in
classes for
4-H.
kids. Oh, you know what? We were discussing this. We're going to bring the 4-H kids in.
I think that'd be a good idea.
That's my jam.
There you go.
Kids. So I want to thank you so much.
Not a
Colleen,
problem. I enjoyed
for
it.
taking this day with us. And
I enjoyed it.
sharing all your knowledge
It was fun.
and your food. I like it. What do you want to do next, Colleen?
Oh, I don't know.
What should we do next?
We can do pasta.
Ooh,
Sourdough pasta.
sourdough pasta.
Yep.
That sounds really yummy. I think we got to put that on the calendar.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us at Preservation Pantry, where we believe some things get better with time. We'll see you next time. Check us out, Facebook and YouTube, and LCTV in Lockport.